Hello, this is Abraham Klein from the Saltsburg News, and today I would like to introduce Ryan Brannon. He is founder and CEO of the new nonprofit technology company known as My New Leaf Incorporated. And today he's going to tell us a little bit about his company. So Ryan, tell us a little bit about the New Leaf project.
All right, well, let's take it back to where it all began. I started my collegiate career in the pharmacy school, and that's where I witnessed through the two years that I was in that program, a lot of my friends abusing prescription pain medication, which ultimately down the road led to a full-blown heroin addiction. And after I left the pharmacy school for my personal reasons, just a disattachment with the field, I began to feel like I left my friends behind. Seeing as I was always a resource to them, I was always coming to their aid. When I left the area, I wanted to create a system of tools that helped them with not only when to seek outside treatment and outside help, but also where to turn, because there's so many different paths that you can take to lead to a successful recovery, and everyone recovers differently. So I just wanted to give some insights into how to navigate such a slippery slope that is the addiction concept. So 2 years ago, I conceptualized this idea, and it was 1 week before a Shark Tank competition at IUP that I actually really started to hammer out what was going to be in this app. And I'm after winning first place and the Audience Choice Award, then that really galvanized me to just continue and push forward on this project. And so that's when I started forming my team. I pulled together graphic designers, programmers, marketers, from all the various departments of IUP. And so this is primarily student-driven group, all pretty much recent graduates, and now we are currently in the development phase trying to bring this app to fruition.
Tell us a little bit about the app.
Well, we're bringing in a few cutting-edge concepts, the first of which being a new psychotherapy on the field that's being used to treat addicts and people in recovery, and it's called motivational interviewing and motivational incentives. Now, motivational interviewing is essentially figuring out what a person's primary motivations for change are. Why are you truly using, and why do you want to recover? And if you can identify these reasons and then reinforce those reasons, then it gives them the motivation they need to find that behavioral change. And motivational incentives is when you use that motivation and provide an end goal and any sort of reward to their behavioral change so that they have something to look forward to. Now, the third concept that we're bringing into play is gamification, which is a really hot tech buzzword right now, but it essentially means bringing in video game elements into a system that's not itself a video game. Now that means things like badges, leveling up, points, achievements, avatars, all the things that you would kind of see in a lot of video games. And the purpose of that is not only to incentivize the behavioral change, but also to keep them engaged in the process. The pitfalls I saw of all of the apps on the marketplace that cater to substance use problems were that they were too thin. There's not enough content. There weren't enough things to keep them coming back to the app on a daily basis. And you need that daily interaction to promote that long-term behavioral change. And so with all of these throwaway apps on the market that you would use for a couple of days and throw away, they're not really doing any good for the long term. So the gamification really kind of ties it all together and keeps them coming back on a day-to-day basis because it's fun. You get points,
Yeah, and what's the ultimate goal of the app? Like, what do you hope? Obviously, we want to change the world, but what's the ultimate goal, primarily, like, right now? What's the ultimate goal of the app?
Well, our focus right now is to not only provide addicts with a means of cataloging their behavior and keeping track of themselves and being able to make sure that they're on an even keel, but also for people who may not have fallen quite as deeply into addiction, like just maybe substance abusers, or even just people dabbling substance users themselves. This provides a means for them to monitor how they are progressing and how basically how far in they are diving into whatever substance that they are using. So it's a tool that they can evaluate themselves periodically to just gain some insights as to where they're standing. And so our ultimate goal is to provide these insights so that people know when to reach out, when they've crossed that threshold and broken into new waters, and when it's starting to be the dominant factor in their life. Ultimately, we would like to incorporate some reintegration processes, like being able to find housing and jobs for people with felony, misdemeanor drug offenses that would otherwise struggle to find any sort of, like I said, reintegration into society after they have been brought up on these charges. And so we're really looking at this in a holistic sense and kind of attacking it from all angles. We're trying to bring the community to them such that they know who all the providers are in the area. They know where to turn to. But we're also giving them the opportunities to move forward and where to turn next as stepping stones, so that they essentially have a plan for the future.
Okay, and I think you know, what everybody's probably curious about the most right now is, like, what's the latest development with My New Leaf?
Well, currently we have completed the design phase. All of the app, all of the interactions and features are completely designed. We have started development work, which is by far the heftiest portion of it. But we had just launched a month ago our Thunderclap, which is a crowd speaking campaign to galvanize our supporters. And this is all in preparation for the launch of our crowdfunding campaign through Start Some Good. And with that crowdfunding campaign, we're hoping to raise between $30,000 and $80,000 to actually be able to bring all of the team members aboard and in-house, and so that they have full-time positions as opposed to just contractual work. And ultimately, if we can receive that funding, then we will be able to finalize all of the actual development, the programming of the app that needs to be done in order to make it to the marketplace. Currently, we're building the web-based version first, but our next step is to build the Android and then lastly the iPhone version, probably in early spring of next year.
Okay, this has been Ryan Brannon, founder and CEO of the technology company My New Leaf. Thank you very much, and you folks have a great day. Bye.